The Indiana Fever just lost back-to-back games against the Dallas Wings, 19-0 run, against the Washington Mystics, 18-7 to start the fourth quarter. Lost the lead, lost the game. We just lost back-to-back games against teams we had no business losing to, even without Caitlin Clark.
It looked like the Indiana Fever has lost another game due to Kelsey Mitchell. Guys, for this one here,
the Indiana Fever are once again in the spotlight, and not for the right reasons. Back-to-back blowout losses have left fans furious, and this time, the blame is squarely on head coach Stephanie White and veteran guard Kelsey Mitchell. Against the Washington Mystics, the Fever surrendered an 18-7 run in the fourth quarter, blowing a game they had under control. The frustration? Sophie Cunningham, the one player left wide open and ready to deliver, never touched the ball. Instead, White trusted Mitchell, who failed once again in crunch time. Tonight, we investigate how poor coaching, bad shot selection, and ignored teammates turned winnable games into humiliating defeats for Indiana. And trust me, the fallout is just beginning.
Coaching versus the Mystics, her game plan was piss poor. It looked like a third grader probably writ her game plan out.
This wasn't just one bad play, it was a pattern. Stephanie White repeatedly drew up plays for Kelsey Mitchell, who has a long history of struggling late in games. Fans are calling it deja vu because every close contest seems to end the same way. Mitchell forces a drive, clanks a shot, and Indiana collapses. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham stood on the perimeter, wide open, hands up, practically shouting, "Pass me the ball." Her frustration was shutting her down. This was coaching malpractice. White ignored the most logical option and handed the ball to a player who, time and time again, has shown she is not the answer in the clutch.
Until late in the third quarter, you guys were struggling offensively in that frame. Second half in general, did you feel the same as the first half on that end? Did something change for you guys, or did you see us kind of leading strong on that end?
Yeah, I think we were just kind of slow, and every time that we're slow, especially defensively, it just somehow affects our offense. And so I think the thing that we just have to continue to do that kind of got us on the run we had for the last couple of games was we were aggressive at the pointing attack on defense, and that led to easy transition buckets. That led to everyone being aggressive and on their front foot on the offensive end. And we have new players, and that's okay. But we just have to adjust, and we need them. We've faced a lot of adversity, but we should be used to that by now.
In her post-game comments, Kelsey Mitchell admitted the Fever slowed down and lost their offensive rhythm. But critics argue that's just an excuse. The truth is, Mitchell has been inconsistent under pressure for years. She can score in bursts, but when it comes to sealing games, she falls flat. The numbers don't lie. Her late-game shooting percentage has sunk Indiana more times than fans can count. Social media lit up instantly after the Mystics game. Clips of Sophie Cunningham left wide open went viral, and fans mocked both White and Mitchell for the meltdown. One viral post summed it up perfectly. Sophie was the answer key, and they failed the test.
Second quarter comes around. Slippage starts to start. We get up to a 13-point lead. Eventually it falls down. We end up 5 at the half. And that's not a bad half. Come out of the half of the dreaded third quarter, and we are flat. And I feel like in quarters like this, it just feels like we're slashing our own tires. Like we are stifling our own momentum at every turn we can. Like the team came out and they literally looked like they were uncoordinated all of a sudden. Like they were just missing easy shots. They were like overshooting. Like they were trying to draw fouls or something. I don't know what's going on with this team.
Let's be clear. This wasn't just about one possession. Indiana had multiple chances to control the game. They led by 13 at one point, but sloppy turnovers, lazy defense, and unimaginative offense killed their momentum. Stephanie White's coaching looked outdated, as if she was relying on a decade-old playbook. Instead of adapting, she doubled down on Mitchell. Fans couldn't believe what they were watching. Sophie Cunningham, one of the team's most reliable shooters, didn't even get a look in crunch time. That's not just a missed opportunity. That's a team sabotaging itself. And when your coach repeats the same mistake game after game, it's no longer bad luck. It's a pattern of failure.
Friend, Carolyn Peck been, and where has the Indiana Fever are a more dangerous team without Caitlin Clark conversation gone. How come once the Indiana Fever suddenly stopped that 5-game win streak, lose 3 of their last 4, how come Carolyn Peck has suddenly stopped showing up on TV? How come that narrative of the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark? Why has that suddenly stopped?
Let's be clear, this wasn't just about one possession. Indiana had multiple chances to control the game. They led by 13 at one point, but sloppy turnovers, lazy defense, and unimaginative offense killed their momentum. Stephanie White's coaching looked outdated, as if she was relying on a decade-old playbook. Instead of adapting, she doubled down on Mitchell. Fans couldn't believe what they were watching. Sophie Cunningham, one of the team's most reliable shooters, didn't even get a look in crunch time. That's not just a missed opportunity. That's a team sabotaging itself. And when your coach repeats the same mistake game after game, it's no longer bad luck. It's a pattern of failure.
To the Stephanie White press conference, we know this lady is allergic, flat out allergic to the word accountability. Stephanie White takes no accountability for anything. We are going to watch her pass the blame to everybody. I have not watched it yet. I'm going to see it with you guys.
The debate about whether the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark has completely disappeared. Remember when ESPN's Carolyn Peck floated that idea during Indiana's brief win streak? That narrative has vanished. The Fever have now dropped 3 of their last 4, and suddenly nobody is talking about how they're more dangerous without Clark. The losses exposed the truth. Without smart coaching and without using players like Cunningham effectively, Indiana has no chance. Fans online hammered this point home. They weren't just angry, they were united. They blamed White for the game plan and Mitchell for poor execution. In their eyes, Sophie Cunningham was robbed of the moment she earned. At her press conference, Stephanie White once again avoided accountability. Instead of admitting her mistake, she danced around the questions and blamed slow execution and adjustments. But fans saw through it. This wasn't about new players or fatigue. It was about refusing to trust the right shooter in crunch time. Cunningham has proven time and again she's clutch when needed. Yet, White's stubbornness forced the ball into the wrong hands. At some point, you have to ask, what is Stephanie White's vision for this team? Because from the outside, it looks less about winning and more about forcing narratives. And if that's the case, Indiana is in big trouble. Sophie Cunningham doesn't demand the spotlight. She's not trying to take attention away from Caitlin Clark or Aaliyah Boston. What she does is show up in the moments that matter. She spaces the floor, she hustles, and she makes big shots when her team needs them most. That's why her teammates respect her and why fans are outraged on her behalf. Being ignored in this game wasn't just a tactical mistake. It was a slap in the face to a player who earned the right to take that shot. And that kind of disrespect doesn't just vanish overnight. It lingers in the locker room, festers, and breaks trust between players and coaches. These mistakes aren't just embarrassing, they're costly. The Fever have now slipped to 7th place, hanging on to playoff positioning by a thread. Every loss matters, and losses like this are momentum killers. Indiana isn't losing to elite teams. They're losing to teams they should beat. And that raises the bigger issue. Can this team even be trusted to close out games come playoff time? Right now, the answer looks like no. Fans have lost confidence, and even players look deflated. How long can this roster keep giving its all when the coaching decisions keep sabotaging their chances? The final possession against the Mystics summed it all up. Kelsey Mitchell barreled into the lane like it was a scrimmage, missed an easy layup, and wasted the chance to win. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham stood wide open on the wing. That single play captured everything wrong with Indiana's current system. Poor coaching, misplaced trust, and wasted talent. Fans weren't just disappointed, they were outraged. Within minutes, memes, sarcastic posts, and trade Kelsey tweets flooded social media. The message was clear. Fans have had enough of watching the same mistakes unfold again and again. This issue goes beyond one game. It's about the long-term trust of Indiana's biggest star. Caitlin Clark is supposed to be the future of the franchise, the player they build around for years to come. But how can she grow into that role if the coaching staff refuses to make winning decisions? Watching Mitchell fail in crunch time while Cunningham is ignored doesn't just frustrate Clark, it sends a dangerous message. It tells her the organization doesn't know how to maximize its talent. And if Clark starts losing patience this early in her career, the Fever could be headed for a much bigger problem than just a bad season. The Fever's identity this season has become painfully predictable: build a lead, lose focus, and collapse in the final minutes. Fans no longer feel excited when games are close. They feel dread because they know how it ends. And until Stephanie White changes her approach, nothing will improve. Sophie Cunningham deserved that final shot. Caitlin Clark deserved a coach who trusted the right players. Aaliyah Boston deserved a game plan that rewarded her consistency. Instead, Indiana fans got another meltdown, another loss, another round of instant regret. And the truth is, unless this team makes changes now, they'll keep writing the same tragic ending over and over again.